I had a friend who has the gates open. Walked through the gates and didn't consider anything. It just broke some chocolate.
Hi, I'm awesome. How are you?
I don't know anybody.
Except me, they actually complete. He said you're probably gonna hate that.
Okay, good. Yeah. They said the battery.
He said you probably may not be happy. I'm like, no, you won't.
It was like around 110.
You don't mind sharing.
You have to get the high.
There's plenty of
How does math I mean?
This is.
If it's in the way of
I'm sure they did. I know to get like if they get into Genesis to get into live, my friends showed up
Genesis the
and they said they waited in line for an hour to get
you find yourself answering
just to go. Yeah, oh, I'm sure. I'm sure. Yeah.
Of course, they
morning, how are you? You gonna come today?
Yeah, we like some stories back then.
Can't find any light.
Oh, she must go inside.
Generally, when I go, when they want to go, when they get back.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Yeah, we're just waiting for him to arrive.
One of my friends
His
is
first load.
she will buy. She's moving.
I know, they actually have a new bus. So he's bringing the truck. Are
You basically like having the work done.
But I was all like, my oh, she can work. Yeah, you and I were. It's not. Are you all?
Good morning, everybody. Let's go and get started. Hope everybody's doing well. Somebody give me some good news. Something that's going on that's like great news.
I want to introduce a new member for Quan.
Oh, please.
All right, I'm going to turn it right over.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Ayub Kalikyar, and this is my second week at Keller Williams. So far, I'm enjoying it, loving it, and look forward to working with you guys.
Hey, welcome. This is my 1,000 week with from how many 10 years is it? But anyway, guys. So guys, anyway, I'm glad to have you here with us. Who else is even new or has some good news they want to share? So what about?
Silverback team has 3 new agents starting today.
All right, tell us about it. Come on, introduce yourself. Tell
Oh,
us
my
about
name's Beth Piazzi. I'm the agent success manager with Jan Silverback team, and today we have 3 new agents starting. 2 absolutely brand new out of the gate, and 1 that made the switch over to a team to get more support and see what it's all about.
And tell us one more time.
Agent success manager.
You like that?
Yeah.
Agent success manager.
Beth Piazzi. Mhm.
We call her pizza.
No, we don't. We don't.
Yes, we do.
Blessing.
That's easy
I'm
to
sorry.
remember.
This is the troublemaking section.
And he's.
Yes. Okay, great. All right, guys, anyway, anybody in television land want to share some good news with us? Are you awake in television land? Then we shall absolutely move on. So guys, who cannot believe that it's November the 2nd? Oh my gosh. Where is the year going? I mean, it's gonna be Thanksgiving in about 3 weeks. And after that, Christmas follows pretty soon after that. So guys, this year is like going away very quickly. So guys, I hope you've had a good year. I hope you've gotten your goals finished for this year, completed, and you made your goals, which is great. We're having our best year ever, which is fabulous. So who's up first?
I mean, we're up, but I don't know, Thomas and Brown.
Oh, you know what? I am to tell you all that Carrie brought breakfast this morning. She brought different things. And
Gary
Lon,
Green with Thomas Brown.
Gary Green, Thomas and Brown, Lon had a closing at 9:30, so we had to go downstairs. She had to fly to Mexico.
The Cancun.
I know. So there you go. Thank them for their breakfast. That's all.
Let's thank Thomas and Brown. Yay! We love Thomas and Brown. Okay, now who's up?
Okay, I'm right here. Good morning, Keller Williams. I know.
Morning.
Buenos dias.
I always say buenos dias.
Buenos dias.
Hey,
Buenos dias.
buenos dias. Online, you're gonna see my name right there because I'm online as well.
Could you speak English, please?
Ah, no voy a hablar inglés hoy porque vamos a hablar de otro tema. That's true. Okay. My name is Camilo Scandron, but you can call me Milo. That's my loan officer. It's easier to remember. I know that sometimes it's difficult to get the names out there. But listen, you say November 2nd. So fun facts for today. You know that today is the National Devil Egg Day.
Devil egg.
Also the Day of the Dead. In Mexico, you know, they celebrate that a lot.
Yes.
But All Souls Day, and this is the best one. Plan your epitaph day.
Oh,
That's really. Hey, by the way, in my 15 years in this business, I'm still amazed on how the rates are really low. You know, and you not hear from clients saying, no, but the rates are going up. No, we're gonna wait. You know, it's human nature that we see 2.5% rate, and now we see 3% or 3.5. We're gonna say, it's increasing, we're gonna wait, but it's important that you know that the rates are still low when you have that conversation with the clients. Of course, you know, you're gonna go in deep on these details, that's why we are here. But do you know what are the factors that impact rates for the clients, for the customers? Do you know what factors?
The jobs report.
That's for the interest in general, but for the interest rate for your clients, credit score, for example, it's one of those. Loan amount, loan to value, you know how much something are you gonna give.
And the GTI.
DTI, that's correct. Property type, you know, 1 unit, 2 units, 3 units, that makes a difference as well on down payment and rates. Occupancy type, of course, primary, investment, that makes a difference as well. Eh? Discount point, we hear about that. So what I'm trying to see right here, what I'm trying to say right here is not every single client is gonna get the same rate. Okay, you're gonna establish a rate, the government, the market is gonna establish a rate, but at the end, depends on the situation of the client, we're gonna set up different rates. Okay, so that's important to keep in mind when you have the conversation. But at the end, we're gonna qualify and we're gonna talk to them about that and get the best rate possible. Okay. But when the client has an issue, you know, we're always gonna look to increase the score, to help them out, to save more money. Why we need a lower interest rate? Because that can make a difference in terms of qualification. You know, you get somebody for $290 or $300, but they always love to look for $350,000, right? So that rate, that can make a difference. These factors can make a difference. So we always look on that. to help you increase that qualification. Okay. We are committed not only to the clients, but also to you to grow personally and professionally. That's why we have a different programs at Supreme Lending. Every Monday, from we started last week until November 29th, we have Doug Duncan on Mondays at 3 p.m. We're gonna share these online. But basically, if you don't know who's Doug Duncan, he's the chief economist of Fannie Mae. So every single Monday for 3 minutes, he's gonna share some insights about the economy, okay? Demographics, interest rates, economy. So it is important that you cover that, and that's free. Okay, we're gonna share that with you online. Also, we have the program called Supreme Best of Personal and Professional Best. I guess we're gonna have a conversation today about the business plan, and we create that personal best because we want to help you in different areas of your life or of your professional life. So we have, this is the second part for Mark Rich, who's here?
Yeah.
He's the former football UGA coach. And in this case, he's gonna talk about decisions, okay? It is important to have the right information. It's important to have the right partners to make the right decision. So don't miss this. This is on November 18th at 3 p.m. We're gonna share this online as well, okay? So if you are not a Facebook page at Keller Williams, join it because we're gonna share it right there, okay? That's it.
Let's go ahead, guys. Tell me what the sticker is that's on my shirt. What is it? What is bold? Someone tell me what it is. Lisa, you know what it is?
Business objective, a life by design.
You are just. And guys, we asked you to sign up for bold, and guys, y'all month at the park, we had 22 people in bold this time. The instructor is amazing, Tammy is, and that's what I've ever seen before. We read the offering. And out of our ALC, 6 of our ALC members are in bold this time. Now, why do they choose to do that? Because they want to finish the year of what? Strong. And set for the first quarter, guys. But I am thrilled with us having 22. Guys, that's great news. That'll allow us to finish strong and to start well for next year. So, guys, I thank you for coming out and supporting us and doing bold. I wish we could have had 40. That's just me. All right, guys, welcome, residential inspectors of America. Come on, come on, come on.
Good morning, y'all.
Good morning.
Morning.
So I'm Rhea with Residential Inspector of America. You guys probably know us as a local home inspection company. I do want to emphasize today that we are family owned, even though we're growing. We have about 40 inspectors now. So we're able to cover a lot more ground than when we first started. Normally when I talk to you guys, it's about fires, because they're the ones that usually pick, the inspection company they want to use. But today I brought you guys some material actually for sellers. You guys are really top producing group. You really are. I enjoy being here. And I know a lot of you are getting listings in. So over by the breakfast table, you'll find a folder. Inside there'll be a seller checklist. You can scan this to email it, but unfortunately I only have it in flyer form. But I always suggest just taking it with you to a listing appointment and leaving it in the folder. That way you don't really have to go over all those little nuances that will really help them before we come out. Sometimes it can be a lot to get them to sign on the dotted line and then tell them what they need to fix in their home. So this little checklist, it kind of just goes over the items in black and white for them. And then you can follow back up with them prior to the inspection and just let them know like, hey, we're able to hit, a few of those items. Don't be surprised if they do come up on the inspection report. One of the other things I want to touch on, you guys are such a cool group. I really, really like you. I think it's like the last time we see you though this year. I'm going to like this weight loss hiatus. I have some stubborn belly fat I'm going to be getting rid of in December. So a lot of my calls starting in December, at the end of December, will be forwarded. I get a lot of texts as well from agents. You all will still be very well taken care of until I return.
Good.
Do you guys have any questions for me? It could be your last one unless you call me. No? All right. Well, you guys have a fantastic rest of the year. And again, these will be right out by the breakfast items there, okay?
Thank you. Y4C2Ts. All right, Mike, I'm gonna call on you for it. What is your favorite one of these today that you like us to talk about? What's your favorite one, Mike?
Seek first to understand.
All right, Mike, why do you say that?
I always like it because I think communication is one of our biggest challenges that we have. And we think we're communicating, but we're talking more than we're listening. And so when we seek first to understand, it makes us stop and listen to the other party before we make a judgment. And I like the idea of making charitable judgments and
Charitable judgment, I like
choosing
that.
to believe the best in someone and understanding where someone's coming from. That takes work. And so I think communication is the key to all of that.
That's cool. I don't even blame anything to that, guys. Isn't that beautiful?
Yeah.
Seek first to understand. Maybe they're going through something you're not aware of, guys. So I love that. And I'll tell you again, if you ever take the agent on the other side, you will have a tough deal. And next time they see your contract, they'll go, I don't want that guy again. Next contract. So guys, seek first to understand, Mike. I love that one for today. Thank you for sharing that.
Sure.
Real estate conversations in Legion. Now, guys, this happens every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. The people that are there are having success. They're doing business. If your business is not where you want to be, why would you not show up? This, guys, it's wonderful. They talk about what business looks like and they do scripts. And so, guys, a lot of times when you lose a listing or you lose a buyer or you lose a deal, it's because you got out scripted. So, guys, come. It's exciting. Once in a while, we have donuts brought by one of our partners. So, guys, come. Martha is there every single Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and be there because, guys, this is a great place for you to start your day. Group coaching, new construction, taught by our own Kelly Allen. Let's hear it for Kelly. Yay! Great talent. She and her team are amazing, do a lot of business. Number one in this office right now for GCI, and it's November 3rd at 11 a.m. to 12. Come and let Kelly tell you about new construction. She understands it well. She's had several subdivisions. So guys, come listen to her and let her share some of her wonderful knowledge with you. Command happy hour from home. Kevin Jackson, I love you. Thanks for always doing this, guys. If you have not gotten to where you want to be in command, jump on this. You can ask the dumbest questions and not be called out. Just come jump on this. Kevin is really good at explaining to you slowly where you can get it, guys. So if you're not jumped on command yet, this is a great place to start. And that is on Thursday, November the 4th from 5 to 6 p.m. and bring your favorite beverage. Group coaching, the fortune is in the follow-up. Barry, tell us about that.
Okay.
Okay.
Good morning, excuse me. I was in mid-bagel.
That's not
Fortune is in the follow-up. So I'll be teaching a class next week about what you need to do in order to secure those leads that you work so hard to get, right? You do an open house or you do a mailing, you do something, you get a referral, your inbox gets cluttered and you make a phone call or you leave a message and then it kind of disappears. So come talk with me next, I think it's Monday, right? The 8th? Monday from 11 to 12. We're going to talk about some strategies on follow-up and what you need to do in order to get your business to closing.
Great. And Barry's one of our wonderful coaches. So guys, please come and listen to him because he's really good to follow up. How to succeed in commercial real estate. Now, guys, if you're one of these people that says, I want to do a commercial deal because I'll make some money on that. Well, guys, if you don't know what you're doing, you can be in trouble with the real estate commission and mess the deal up badly. So come and learn what it takes to do commercial real estate. And that is on November the 10th from 11 to 12 p.m. Please join us. It's Kathy Regular, one of our amazing commercial people. She's a good teacher, so come join her with Jen. I'm sorry, Janice Budge also. The two of them will do it together. So come hear about what you need to do to be in commercial real estate, guys. It is not as easy as searching on FMLS. Well, most of the commercial stuff is not. MREA business plan clinic. Guys, this guy is amazing, Kent Temple. And in fact, you talk about this one second, Arthurine.
I know we've had, hi, I'm Arthurine. We've had business planning here, but if you're like me, right, the very first time I did the business planning clinic with Steve Todd, I was so lost, right? And so here's another opportunity for you guys, and Shelly's shaking her head yes, and she's the top producing agent. Here's another opportunity for you to take it again, online this time. And oh, can I do a plug?
Sure.
All of these classes that we offer, can we agree that they're amazing classes?
Yes.
Yes.
Now, here is something, guys, that we all underutilize. You can offer these classes to any court agent that we love working with this year. You know why? Because we have the Zoom links. So why not invite them to this, to Kelly's? Kelly is amazing, right? And just send that Zoom link out and possibly work on building your own downline. We are leaving money on the table, and at the same time, we're not helping agents who are out there who does not have the amount of classes or knowledge that we share every single week.
All right, guys, I'll tell you what I'll do. If you will bring an agent with you from another company, I will pay for your registration and theirs also. So if you will bring somebody with you, and if you bring them with you to this, they will be so excited about, because they're not getting this at other companies, guys. This is unique to our company. So I'll pay for yours, for theirs also. Please sign up for this. It'll be fantastic, and you'll actually know how to run a business like a business. Amazing. All right, Thanksgiving Day potluck, Tuesday, November 23rd. And I know all the questions, but Jim, that's the week of Thanksgiving. I won't be here. Well, I'm sorry, but we will have our 10th annual on Tuesday on Thanksgiving potluck. Bring something or just show up and eat. We always have lots of food. Put that on your calendar, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. And I cannot wait to be you guys. One of my favorite days of the year to come and have Thanksgiving with the people at Quan. Save the date. Now, guys, this is going to be exceptional. This year it's not going to rain. I promise you that. Thank you, Lord. Anyway, so guys, it's our Quan annual holiday party, Christmas party at the Atlanta Botanical Garden. It was fantastic last year. It's going to be December 10th from 7 to 9. We're still working on a few of the details. But I put that on your calendar. That is a great place to come and enjoy the beautiful lights at the Botanical Garden. If you don't know what the Botanical Garden is, you're missing it. It is an amazing place where the light will just go wow. Fun last year. All right, Michelle, you're up. Lessons learned.
All right. Okay, I went to Sherry this week. And we continue to have this problem, so please listen carefully. It has to do with appraisals. How many of you are so bold as to put in a contract 0 days for appraisal? Okay, all right.
Yeah.
And how many of you are so bold as to believe that the financing section where you've given it a few days covers in case the appraisal doesn't come in?
No.
I see some heads shaking no. I've seen some heads shaking yes, and they come to us in a panic. So I'm going to read 3 scenarios, and you tell me if your client is covering the earnest money if it does not appraise. 0 days of appraisal, 10 days financing. Is the appraisal, is the earnest money covered in the event that the property does not appraise? No. That is correct. Or let's do 7 days of appraisal, but the appraiser doesn't get out there in that 7 days, and you have 10 days of financing. Are you covering the earnest money? No. Or you have 7 days of due diligence, 0 days of appraisal, 10 days of financing, and you're betting on the fact that the appraiser can get out there in 7 days, and they don't. Is it? No. And people come to us with their hair blowing on fire and thinking that we're going to figure out a way to cover it. And their argument is, well, if they get turned down for financing, then I can protect their earnest money. But what is in our contract that protects them regarding financing? Doesn't it say, well, let me just ask it as a question. Doesn't it say that they have sufficient funds?
Yeah.
Right. So if there's a gap in the appraisal and they're, say, $20,000 short, is that okay to get turned down and cover their earnest money to protect it?
No.
Yeah.
No.
Absolutely not, because they have signed that they have sufficient funds. You didn't put a special stip. So please be very careful. 3 times last week and this week this has happened. And if I were a buyer and found out that you didn't advise me well, I think I would have a little bit of a beef. So we want to protect you. We want to protect our clients. So know what you're doing. Don't do things just to get a contract accepted, because it can certainly backfire on you. Any questions?
But if you use our lenders, and they tell you they get it out there in 7 days, will you make it happen, Milo? Yes, sir. So if you use our lenders, you're a little more protected, right, Michelle?
Well,
A little
sure,
more.
absolutely, absolutely. That is not, but if you're gonna put, what is that?
And I must say, from experience, and I'm not disagreeing with you, from experience, very recently, those lenders have no control over when those appraisals go out.
Well, that is correct.
That's all I'm gonna say
That's
about that.
correct. So do you need to have a discussion with your buyer going that if you want to do this, here are the risks that are associated with doing this contract. Are you prepared to take that risk? Are you prepared if the appraisal doesn't come in to make that gap? Some are.
I have a question for you. On the financing contingency, it says that they have the ability to obtain the loan referenced above.
Yes.
So if you've said 80% loan and the appraisal comes in low and all of a sudden it becomes a, something different than that, could you not make the argument that they can't obtain the loan referenced above?
Well, I mean, if you're gonna do something
That's, I
like,
don't know I'm just.
the answer is you can't go higher than what you put in that stipulation. So on the financing, you can't go to 90, get declined, and it'd be okay. You always said you were getting an LTV because when sellers look at contracts, part of it are the terms.
Right.
So the terms, if you're taking a 90, is that better than say an 80? Maybe not. I mean, so no. Now, they could go to a 90, and if they get approved, all is copacetic. I mean, you're okay. Doesn't matter because it closes.
But you can't bail out their due diligence.
You can bail out during due diligence. That's correct.
If you have one.
If you
Right.
have.
And one thing that we've done is have the agents, and I don't necessarily recommend this, but if you got a client that wants to write an offer with no appraisal contingency, at least let us run it through desktop underwriting before you go under binding to see if they get an appraisal waiver. Some of you in here have done that with us, and we've got a couple that they did get it. So you had that ace in the hole that says, we already know we don't get an
Perfect.
appraisal.
Thank you for bringing that up. Perfect.
If you guys are going to places like Quicken Loans, your clients are going there, you've been outscripted.
Well, and let me just tell you, if they decide to go with another lender, especially out of state,
Right.
you need to tell them, here's what I'm going to tell you, you risk it. Because that was an issue last week, where that out-of-state lender said, oh no, we can do it, we can get an appraisal. And then they said, I never said that. So, there you go.
Michelle, I agree with you in terms of lenders. Sometimes we cannot control appraisers, but there is something that we can control. I'm gonna give you just a quick list that we have discussed in the past, but is have your buyers submit their mortgage application right away. Sometimes we get the contracts 2 or 3 days after the binding, and that, 3 days is 3 days.
Yeah.
On the weekends, we can order appraisals on the weekends as well. We have that little difference on that. Provide any recent comps, particularly in off-market sales. Provide a list of recent upgrades, including year and amount. Okay, approximations are okay. Provide recent survey blueprints or recent appraisal with comps if available. So at some point, we cannot control the appraiser, but we can control the times that we can order that and the type of information that we can provide to the appraisers. Okay, so that's a teamwork right there.
It is.
To get
Most
going.
importantly, though, have the conversation with your client and say, these are the risks that they fully understand. And I wouldn't hesitate to put it in writing.
Send them an email.
Exactly.
Here's what we discussed.
Exactly,
That's the main-
exactly, because in this day and age, everybody points the finger at you, period. So cover yourself, because I get to talk. Thank you. All right, let's go to the fun days. Let's go to who has clients that they are looking for that special home and they just haven't found it and need our help. Lisa,
Okay, I have two.
and go ahead and say your first name
Lisa
and last name.
Wen,
Thank you.
and I have a buyer looking in Cherokee County up to 300,000. And I have a buyer looking in Cherokee County up to 450.
Right.
So if you have anything coming up that's not out there, see everything out there.
Perfect. All right. I'm not going to say anyone's names. I know them, but I'm going to let you all say your name.
Excuse me, Rusty Clark. I've got a cash buyer up to 325, East Cobb, 3-bed, 2-bath. Really doesn't have to be totally updated, just livable.
Okay, oh, okay, that sounds easy. All right, thanks. Easy enough.
Me.
You,
I was making sure. I'm Irene, and I have a buyer that is looking for something in Cherokee, specifically in Canton. And they want to have, I think I mentioned this last week, but they want to have two, they want a master on the main and another guest on the main because they're having their mother live with them. They're actually in Woodmont right now, so they are looking at either new or resale, and they can go up to 700,000. And I'm having a real hard time finding what they want. So if you know anything coming on, especially in Woodmont, they would be okay even staying in the community that they're in. That would be awesome.
Door knock, door knock, door knock.
Door knock, I know, need to get up there.
all right, thank you. Who else? Anybody in TV land?
Hey, Michelle,
Or Sarah?
hear me?
I need Walton.
This is Sarah Patino.
Sarah Bertino, sorry. Walton up to 1.5 with the basement. Doesn't sound like that should be too hard, but.
All right.
Three in
Michelle?
Johnson, and I've got 2 in Sprayberry, up to 450. 4 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, one of them could be Sprayberry or Marietta High. I need 550 Brazelton, Milton, John Street. We're widened our search. The kicker is the 3-car garage. He has toys, so we have to have a 3-car garage. And then
¿Cuántos cuartos tiene la casa? 4 recámaras, ¿verdad? La de esta y es en Holly Springs. La de esta.
If not, we'll jump on to coming soons.
Hey, Michelle. Mitch.
All right. I see
Michelle?
hands going up. That's
Can you
great.
hear me?
Serene again, coming soon today in Tucker, Tucker High School. I sold it to him 2 years ago. And so it's brand new, it's sparkling, it's fantastic. Wonderful townhome. It's gonna be listed for 355. 2 levels of just awesomeness. I'm listing it this afternoon. Very close to Tucker, the highways, and right in the middle of Tucker and the farmers market and all of that nice vibe.
Great. Who else?
Michelle.
I have a quiet listing in Fields Pond. It's gonna be 750 cul-de-sac brick. Flat, flooding the front, flooding the back, 5 bedrooms, 4.5 baths, finished basement. If you have anybody, please call me.
Oh, you gotta tell your name, else it will be quiet.
Shelley Burner.
Thank you. Okay.
Good morning,
I have one
Michelle.
more. I'm so sorry. I've got an executive home that's gonna be for rent. It's 7 full bedrooms, 5.5 bathrooms. It's right in the middle of Crab Apple Walk to the cool downtown. You want it? Yeah. $5,000. Yeah? $5,000. Sold, yeah. Okay, so in a couple of weeks. Yeah, for
Perfect.
updating stuff. Yep.
Jill.
I'm Jill Harris. I have one coming up, Sarah, might be a fit for your clients in East Hampton, so it's Bolton High School. And it's in the estate, so 3-car garage, lots of updates, and I'll probably close to them.
Great.
It's coming up probably in like next week.
Yeah, they don't have to be there till.
Ooh, sounds like another
Sold,
sale.
Jill.
Oh, great. Who else?
Michelle, good morning.
Yvette's trying to.
Yvette, are you trying to?
She's got a hand.
You've got hands
Yes,
up?
can you-
Okay.
Can you hear me?
All right.
Michelle, can you hear me?
Are you on mute?
No, I am not on mute.
Can't hear you.
I don't think they can hear us, Yvette.
Want to post it
No,
in the
right?
chat box? Yeah, no.
The people online, would all of you unmute yourself and just talk? Let's see if we can hear you. Everybody that's online, unmute
You
yourself and
can't
talk.
hear us for some reason.
Yeah, you
Say
can't hear
something.
us.
Yeah, they can hear us.
Anybody?
We are on mute.
Okay.
Cool. We can hear you now, Vic.
Hey, go right
Please.
ahead.
I think Kimberly has to unmute us, maybe.
We can hear you.
Yes, go ahead.
Anybody jump in and say your name.
Okay, Yvette's got something. Okay, Yvette Barajas, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, good morning. How are you, everybody?
Good.
Okay, I have a coming soon listing, very nice property. It has 2 stories with unfinished basement, 4 bedrooms with 3 full baths. This property was built 2 years ago, and the listing price is going to start on $450,000.
Great, thank you.
And
Okay,
that's it.
Michelle.
Thank you.
Where is it?
Where is it?
Where is it at?
Where?
Oh, yes, it's on Holly Springs. It's Canton.
Okay,
Holly Springs, Canton.
okay, great.
Michelle, I have a buyer need.
Okay, jump
Can you hear
right.
me? This
Yes.
is Katie Wilgore. I have a cute couple. I think we've been on offer like number 15 recently, and they're looking in the coming. I'm sorry, I'm walking. They're looking in coming Sugar Hill, maybe South Dawsonville, 3-bed, 2-bath. Doesn't have to be updated. They just need a house. So if you have anything off market that like we could sneak in, that would be fabulous.
All right, we'll help you, Katie. Thank you. Who else? Anybody else with buyer needs or most importantly, coming soon?
Michelle?
Yes.
Okay, I have a buyer needs as well.
Okay.
They are looking on Powder Springs, Dallas, and Marietta, up to 300. They need 3 bedrooms, 2.5 baths, backyard with fence. And I have another buyer needs in the same area, but they can go up to 400, 4 bedrooms with 3 full baths, please.
And that's Yvette Bahamas.
Thank you.
All right, anyone else? All right, I'm going to turn it over back to Jim. Thank you all.
Guys, you know, we actually have a secret weapon that we don't use enough. And I'm going to tell you what secret weapon is. There's a secret weapon that's called the Southeast region. So that's when you look at sort of organizational chart, there's us, then there's Southeast region, there's Collins International. And the Southeast region brings us more stuff that I can tell you about. That's great training. They bring masterminds to us. And guys, because our training calendar is so prolific, we often don't take advantage of it, which is too bad because most of the time, there's people around the country are like, wow. So Mike Ray is the regional director, sometimes called the RD. For the Southeast region, Mike was grown at the Rawls Group. He was team leader at the First Atlanta for how many years, Mike?
3 years.
That's exactly right, Joe. And then he got, was it promotion, Mike?
Depends on who you're at.
He got promotion to be the Southeast region director, and the Southeast region is number one in the country for Keller Williams.
We are number 1.
How many agents, Mike?
15,172 as the end of September. So we'll see.
So guys, come on, Mike. Here's your throne. Are you the center, whichever one you want to do? So Mike, tell us about the Southeast region.
Sure.
And how we rank around the country. So just a little bit about Southeast region.
So
this was welcome Mike Ray. Yay, Mike.
So as Jim was saying, the Southeast region is, we're considered your regional representatives to Keller Williams International. So my responsibility as your regional director is to represent you all as a region, as a market center, as owners in our region, like Gene Rawls would be the owner of this market center, to Keller Williams International as an interface for new initiatives, new things coming to Keller Williams, challenges you may be having. We're responsible for some very important legal documents, which we'll talk about in just a minute. That's the part they didn't tell you about when they said, hey, would you like to consider being our regional director? I spent a lot of time with attorneys, That's what I did. Because we are a franchise organization. Everybody realizes that, right? Even our region is a franchise, and we have 3 franchise owners. Does anybody know the franchise owners of the Southeast region? Does anybody know who they are?
Absolutely.
Bob Kalinsky, Kay Evans, and Cheryl Sidoti. And Cheryl was the most recent regional director. Bob is still considered our regional operating principal. So he's kind of like the Gene Rawls, but of our region. And every single region in the country and around the world has those same positions. They have owners, then they have a regional director. And then there's a couple other positions, and I'll mention those to you guys in just a minute. So we are franchised with Keller Williams International as a region. Just like East Cobb is a franchise within Keller Williams. Did everybody know that? Some people don't know that. And does anybody know how many regions there are in the United States? Anybody know? 31 regions across the United States. And then the 32nd region is considered Keller Williams worldwide. And we're in over 50 countries and growing worldwide. In fact, I just spent last Friday afternoon with our Canadian regional director and their team on a project that they're going to copy that we do here in this, the Southeast region. So who can tell me where the states are in the Southeast region? What does that encompass? Does anybody know what we encompass?
Yes. Certainly Georgia.
Certainly Georgia. We encompass the entire state of Georgia. What else? Does anybody know what else we covered?
South Carolina.
No, that's the part people think that we are Florida, South Carolina. Florida is actually 2 regions. There's North Florida, South Florida, and Carolinas are grouped together. So they're North and South Carolina. So we're the entire state of Georgia. We're all of Tennessee except for Memphis. And they're part of the Arkansas region. And then we're all of Alabama except for Mobile, who is part of the Gulf States region. So we are the largest landmass region as well. Like the state of California, which is a very large state, has 7 regions just divided across their whole state. So we in the Southeast region are very lucky. I think that's a huge blessing that we have our entire landmass. So we are 60 market centers, soon to be 61 market centers across those 3 states. And we are, as Jim said, just over 15,100 agents. We are larger in the Southeast region than Keller Williams worldwide. Keller Williams worldwide in 50 countries is about 14,000 agents. So in the Southeast region, we are larger than all of the worldwide countries combined and larger than any other region. The second closest region to us in size of agents is Texas. Texas South to be specific, North South Texas, Austin, San Antonio, Houston, that area. And they're just over 10,000 agents. So you're a big group. And you guys do a lot of volume and a lot of business across our region. So we are working as a region leadership team, and I'll tell you about who they are in just a second, to really make sure that our agents are connected. We do a great job. We've done a great job for years connecting our leadership. We have meetings with them every Friday. I get to spend my first 30 minutes of my day with our team leaders. Every Monday, I spend about 30 minutes in the middle of the day with our owners, our operating principals. And then we do calls with our MCAs. We do calls with our assistant team leaders, our PDC coaches. But we've not done as much interaction with the agents and connecting you all because you are a huge referral opportunity. If y'all track and command where a lot of referrals come from, a lot of the Atlanta referrals right now are coming from within our own region. And you may have some folks who may be migrating to the great city of Nashville. Y'all know Nashville is one of the hottest areas that people are moving to. Did y'all know that? So it would be great to connect with some KW Southeast region agents in Nashville for referral opportunities because there's lots of them happening out there. Why do y'all think they're moving to Nashville? Does anybody know?
Because they couldn't find a job in Atlanta.
That could be they couldn't find a job in Atlanta. What else?
The housing.
Housing market is a little bit different. It's a little bit it's not as high. They haven't grown as fast there. And there's more land. There's more opportunity to grow outside of that area. That's a big deal right now because people want a little more space.
And like the best way to connect to our agents around the country for referrals, what's the best way?
Command and the referral system. You can go in Command and do that through the referral network. And you'll find that there's a little icon on the side, an applet, that's what they call. And if you're not loving Command or you struggle with it, we have a resource for that. So let me talk to you about our leadership staff. Yes, I know y'all do. Let me talk to you a little bit about our leadership team. So Lisa Romine is our regional operations manager. And this is where we're going to come back to the conversation about legal for just a second. Every single franchise owner has this massive document. It's about this big. It's a franchise disclosure document. And they have to do that every single year. They have to sign that I get the pleasure of reading those 600 pages every year. Didn't know I had to do that either, but I did. I read it. And they all operate under a licensing agreement. Who knows who regulates our franchise agreements? Anybody know?
International?
Not international. They are compliance. They keep us compliant. And that's part of Lisa Roman, our operations manager. Who are we ultimately accountable to as a franchisee? Does anybody know? The federal government. So they step in. This is a federal government thing. This is the Federal Trade Commission. And they are very much curious about anything you do in a franchise organization. And there are rules and regulations that you have to follow and owners have to follow. And so that federal relationship brings attorneys, because attorneys always like to make sure you're doing the right thing. So Lisa keeps all of our market centers compliant with all the paperwork. If there is an investor change, if there's a leadership change, if our team leader were to make a move to a different office, all of that requires paperwork, and it all has to be filed with Keller Williams International, which has to report to the Federal Trade Commission. And that's where we are responsible. That's Lisa's job in our regional office. After Lisa, we have a great resource for our MCAs. Her name is Laura Waldrop, and Laura works directly for Keller Williams International and our region as our regional MCA. And she's a great resource for all things related to the administration of a market center. And then there's Patrick Maldonado. Y'all met Patrick?
Yes.
Patrick was a market center administrator. He was an MCA in one of our Birmingham offices and had been doing a lot of work with Keller Williams around command and technology. And so he came to work with us first as our regional technology trainer. And then we recently have promoted Patrick, and now he's doing more than just tech. He's actually training outside of the tech world and as a resource director for the entire region now. He'll come out and teach. I know he's taught for you guys, right? And he hosts something every single quarter. And I know Carrie Qualters, who is your market center.
Raise your hand back there,
There's
Carrie.
Carrie. I was gonna say, I thought I saw you right there. Hey, Carrie. She has been a part because you've helped teach Lab Command Days. When's the next Lab Command Day, Carrie? It's coming up, right?
It is
And
coming up, yep.
we do them once a quarter. Y'all stay in touch with Carrie. She'll let you know when they're coming. They're a great event. It's an all day. You can jump in and out. Folks like Carrie from other market centers around the region all teach. Patrick's in charge of doing that, and he gets everybody up to speed on different topics. And it's kind of like a big, long day of lab work.
November 16th.
There it is. I knew it was coming up,
What's
November
the time of
16th
that?
for the holiday.
That's all day.
Yeah, and you don't have to stay all day, right, Carrie?
Yeah,
You can jump in and out. You can come in for an hour and ask some questions. There'll be people who'll be there one-on-one to help you. It's just a unified day of how can we help?
Guys, forgive me for this, but guys,
Yeah.
can we thank Carrie?
Y'all should
She
thank
gives up
Carrie.
her time
She's
all
great.
the time. Makes things easy for you also, right, Carrie? Even for me?
Yeah, she can make things easy. That's exactly right. So that's who we are as a regional office. We're located in Ravinia, right over at Ashford Dunwoody, and we are on the road a lot. Last week I was in Columbus, Georgia. In 2 weeks I'll be in Tennessee in our Nashville offices. So we are a great region. You guys should be super proud of it. When we say we're number one, and we've talked about agent count, we've talked about size of the region. Where else do y'all think maybe we're number one? Pick any metric you want, and we are number one. Productivity across the entire company. You all excel in closed volume, listings taken, contracts written, contracts closed, all of it. Profit, you are the number one region across every metric of Keller Williams, and you guys should be proud of that. And Keller Williams is always glad when you show up or sign up for a class, because they know that anybody in the Southeast region is coming from a market center that's going to bring value to the class they're in. And so a lot of times we just had the National Business Planning Clinic with Gene Rivers. Anybody do that class with Gene Rivers? Here, y'all did. Great class, 2 days. We were given the opportunity in this region for 7 of our agents to be live participants on the screen. And you saw some of the Southeast region. The other regions got 1 or 2 people to attend. So when they have an event and they need audience members, they come to us first because they know you guys are highly engaged, you're producing business, and they want to hear what you have to say because y'all have the pulse on what's going on. A lot of it is because people are moving to this region. People move to the Southeast. And so because of that, they really want to know what's happening. So business plan is the topic. I love Kent Temple. How many of y'all have ever been in class with Kent before? Anybody besides me and Jim? Don't miss his class. You guys, he is a phenomenal instructor. He's probably my favorite, after Gene Rivers, my favorite KW instructor. He is really, really good. He runs a big team up in North Carolina, he and his wife. Great guy, great instructor. You will have value all day long with Kent, I promise.
And then what do you think is the best value they get from that class, Mike?
So it's really about knowing your business and knowing your numbers and having a plan, because the more you are focused on your goals for the next year, the better the chance are you're going to actually achieve that goal. You know, there's lots of studies, lots of university studies out there about, you know, writing down a goal and what the percentage of increase that happens if you write it down, if you share it with somebody. But a plan is important. And I will tell you all that other real estate companies are not helping their agents write a plan. They're not helping them write a plan. And some people get scared away about the numbers. So I'm just going to talk to you. I'm going to give you a little precursor today to your business plan if you've not done it yet. I'm going to ask you a couple of questions and challenge you to do a couple of things. Is that okay? Can we do that real quick?
We love it.
All right. So question, just a little mastermind question. What did you start doing this year in 2021 because of the pandemic potentially? But what did you do maybe because of the market? We heard people, somebody mentioned they'd done 15 offers for a buyer. You know, this has kind of been a thing. Listing and inventory has been a challenge. So what did you start doing that maybe you should keep doing? Or what did you start doing that maybe you should stop doing as we go into 2022? What's something you started doing that may be different in your business? These are the kind of questions you should be asking yourself as you're planning the year. What did y'all start doing? Anything?
Sometimes you have to figure out the average time that it's taking to get something under contract. You have to factor that in as part of.
Factor your time on the market, time to write contracts, all that kind of stuff. Okay, that was probably a different planning that you had done. What else? Yes, ma'am.
So buyers that are thinking about it, that are not serious in putting an offer, goodbye.
Right, so your scripts with buyers dramatically changed this year. And if you didn't make those changes with your scripting with your buyers didn't buy houses, right? Some of them did not because they missed the moment. What else did you start doing? Yes, ma'am.
Calling around, networking with other agents to find them.
Yeah, there's been a lot more networking this year than I think they've ever had before because agents really did need to team up. And it wasn't just within KW. I love the conversation y'all were having for buyers and coming soons, but there was a lot of cross brokerage conversations that took place because people needed opportunities to buy houses or list houses or coming soons or whatever. I love that. What else did you start doing? Anything else? Yes, ma'am.
Really studying the market.
So studying the market, yeah. I think a lot of us just kind of rode along the market and this market made us stop and say, wait, what's happening? What news story came out this week that you should be paying attention to, especially here in Atlanta? Zillow, Carrie, what happened with Zillow? What did they do?
Zillow sold 93% of their listings in Arizona for a loss.
They sold 93% of their listings in Arizona for a loss. Guess where else they sold for a loss?
Here. Right in.
Here. So I think that means they're going to have to do something with those listings are coming to the market.
There's 300 active Zillow listings right now in the metro Atlanta area.
So who might be an
And they also
active?
announced that they're not buying any more listings.
They're
this
not
year.
buying any more listings this year, probably because they have no money. And what happened to their stock because of this news story? Their stock is tanked right now. It is really tanked right now. So Carrie, you said 300 active listings from Zillow. So who might be a candidate in your database that you should be talking to about this?
The buyers who couldn't find.
Buyers who maybe couldn't find something?
Yeah, now we can.
Sellers should know what's going on because it could affect their pricing. They need to do something about listing sooner rather than later. Who else would maybe be a candidate?
Investors.
Investors. There are probably some good deals because Zillow is willing to make a deal right now. They need to get this inventory off their books and they need to make some money because they are.
And Mike, was it Zillow and Open Door that's not buying more listings
Open
this
Door
year?
is not buying either this
So
year.
both those y'all are, you should be looking at their listings, right, Mike?
And there's a lot of open doors, especially.
There is.
at
I live
Alpharetta and
I live
Clyde.
off of Nesbit Ferry into
Yeah.
Johns Creek, that little
A
area.
lot.
And there's a house that I watch every day that's been there for 4 months that has an open door sign out front and nobody, I've never seen anybody there, never seen anybody going out of it. So you're right, they have a lot of standing inventory.
And then when you
So-
call and they say, oh, we
Right.
have, multiple offers, I'm
Right.
like, when are you make a decision?
That's right. What are they doing? What are they doing with these offers? That's right. All right, so Zillow is something I would be paying attention to. What should you stop doing going into 2022? What maybe is a habit you picked up? What are you seeing that's a little different? What should you change in your plans right now? Yes, ma'am.
Being sloppy on listings because they're gonna sell in 2 days anyway. What do I need to do all this stuff for?
Yeah, so I love that. And I just had this conversation with our Peachtree Road office. I think right now, if you've not worked on your standard operating procedures of what you do with listings, this would be the time I would be dusting that off. If you have a team, I would definitely be talking to your team about what your steps and practices and all your listing habits are, because days on the market are stretching out a little bit. So if you're knowing that a listing, I think a lot of people got sloppy because they were like, I just throw it out there, somebody's gonna buy it. And that's not gonna be the case, I don't think, in 2022. I think the market will be brisk. I don't think the market's gonna come to a screeching halt and make a dramatic turn. But I do think days on the market are gonna stretch a little bit. And I think you better be prepared to have a better listing, maybe an open house best practice. How many of y'all have had an open house in the last few months? Just a few of you, right? So now would be the time to think about how are you gonna market your open houses? What are you gonna do in an open house? Because you may start seeing more of them advertised. For a long time, I'd only seen 1 or 2, starting to see a lot more. Anything else you should stop doing?
Mike, I want to say the
Yeah.
flip side of what Jill said.
Yeah.
On the buyer side, for buyers agents, we've got so complacent about going, oh, this price or more, how much do you want to pay for it, right? We're not paying attention to the details. We're gonna have to start looking deeper into the details, look at the comps better, go back to the way we used to do it.
So I love that. I think a lot of people, we were talking about studying the market and we were really looking at listings and where to find listings and how to help our buyers get deals. Right now, I love the concept of slowing down, studying more for your buyers because there may be more deals for your buyers coming up than you've had, especially if you're focused on buyers. I love that. That's a great thing to start doing. So if you know anybody who knows Bob Klinsky, he is the man who can come up with a phrase. He will coin a phrase, he always has something. So this year, as he and I were looking at the region and thinking about me being new to the role since January and kind of what we wanted to focus on in the next 2 to 5 years, he came up with this idea of going to Goodwill. How many of you ever dropped off anything at Goodwill? What are you doing when you take something to Goodwill? Purging. You're purging, you're cleaning up something out of your house. You're getting rid of something you maybe don't need anymore. So he and I came up with this idea of Project Goodwill. And I've been sharing this with agents over the last few weeks too, because I think this is a great exercise in your business. I would take a look at all of your total encompassed business. What's on your expense list? What's in your lead gen practices? What's on your calendar? And maybe you need to do a little bit of a Project Goodwill with your business and offload some things that you don't need to be responsible for right now. Who can tell me that any of the 6 personal perspectives? Y'all know those? I know y'all teach them. Self-mastery, E2P, 80-20, yes. What is important? Who knows? Who can tell me anything about the 80-20 rule? What's the 80-20 principle about in the 6 personal perspectives? 20% of your activities should do what?
80%.
Produce 80% of your results.
I'm not telling you, but can you tell them who's coming next year to teach that class?
Yes.
Can you tell them? Mike?
You would, if y'all would, this is, you can thank Mr. Alexander, but Mo Anderson, our first CEO and still vice chairman of the board, will be here. The queen of culture herself will be here for the Ross group for East Cobb to teach 6 personal perspectives. If you've never heard her teach 6 personal perspectives, don't miss it. She is phenomenal. That's going to happen in early June, right? Early June.
I haven't told you yet, Arthur.
She is coming. She is coming. So 20% of your activities should produce 80% of your results, which means you probably have it opposite. You're doing 80% of the activities and trying to get 20%. And so your business is not balanced. So a great exercise is something we're calling Project Goodwill. to say, where do I need to reshift my focus, clean things out and get focused back on my top 20%. I think that's going to be important, especially as the market makes some changes in the next 12 months, okay? So I would mention Project Goodwill to you guys. Does that sound okay?
Hey, Mike, if
Yeah.
you were guessing right now, what are the changes you're seeing from your perspective that may happen next year? Anything that comes to mind?
Definitely think interest rates, as they creep up a little bit, will be a change, but I love the concept of looking at interest rates over historical time periods. I know people think, gosh, it's 3.25. When I bought my first house a long time ago, it was 7.5%, and we thought that was pretty good. I remember my parents bought a house in the late 70s at 18%.
Oh, wow.
So and people were buying houses. So this is what I know. Doesn't matter what the interest rates say, people are still going to buy houses. They're still going to buy houses. Can I draw on this little thing right
You
here?
can with it, yeah.
So here, this is how I always think about the market. Most people think about the market doing this. It's going up and down, right? This is how most people visualize the market. Have y'all seen these graphs before? I like to visualize the market this way. And I say it's going this way. It's just going side to side, because here in the middle, there's still people buying houses every single day. You're just changing your skill sets. So this might be sellers and this might be buyers. And so you may be doing different lead gen activities for buyers, different lead gen activities for sellers. But the fact of the matter is, you still have this big group in the middle. You got to focus on where the money is. Focus on what's going on in the market. Don't lose sight that the market may make a change. Does that make sense? Yeah. Everybody?
Y'all know in the last 15 months, we've had record unit months. Last 15 months, we've had record unit months.
Yeah. I think that's huge. And I don't think we're gonna have the same massive records, because there was some pent up demand around the pandemic. But I don't think you're gonna see market shift way back to like 2010, 2011. I think it's gonna stay strong. I see Reed nodding his head the same way. He agrees with that. I don't think we're gonna see a massive change in that. So, yeah. I do think inventory will start to come back up because of things like Zillow. People will be more inclined to list. So I think scripting is really important right now. I think that's super important. Let me ask y'all a tough question for y'all to think about. You may know the answer to this, you may not. How many of y'all feel like you've had an amazing 2021? Who could say they think they had an amazing 2021? Okay. Do you think your success this year is more a result of the market or the activities that you've done?
The market.
And if it's a result of the market, and we know the market may be making some changes, what should you be doing as you plan 2022?
Sharpen your craft.
Changing your activities. That's right. So I love all the ideas of rethinking how you're going to approach buyers, studying the market, retooling your scripts for sellers, rethinking about how you're going to list the home again. All of those are activities that are going to matter to you. Okay. All right. So I've got 4 questions that you're going to just write a little note down, if y'all will. I think you should answer. I think you should answer these 4 questions. And then I've got a final question that Jim and I talked about yesterday that I like. It's kind of a fun question, and then we'll wrap it up. 4 things. So 4 words. You can write down no, K-N-O-W, no, have, do, and who. No, have, do, and who. Those are your 4 words.
No, have,
Do, and who. And here's my question for all of these. What do you need to know that you don't know going into 2022? What do you need to study? What class do you need to take? What skill do you need to go back and learn or dust off or rethink? What standard operating procedures are dated? What metrics do you need to be looking at going into 2022? What do you need to know? The next question is, what do you need to have? What resource do you not have going into 2022? Is it a person? Is it a tool? Is it a system? What do you need to have going into 2022 that you don't currently have for your business? Next is, what do you need to do? What do you need to do more of? What changes do you need to make in your lead gen systems? What do you need to do for your clients? What do you need to do with your database? What do you need to do with your marketing? What do you need to do with your budgets? What do you need to do? What action should you be taking right now? Business plan should be one of those. And then last is who. Who do you need to know? Who do you need to be in business with? Who do you need to be in coaching with? Who do you need to maybe go and mentor? Who do you need to start a relationship with that's going to challenge you to grow your business to the next level? Fair? So 4 questions. Who do you, answer all of those. Knowing, who do you need to know? What do you need to know? Have, do, and who. That's my 4 questions for y'all. Those will be a great kind of prepare your mind for your time with Kent Temple. All right, and here's my last question for 2022. How many of y'all have felt overwhelmed by this market, overwhelmed by the pandemic, overwhelmed by the whole world that we've been living in?
Yes.
Anybody say yes, 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 yes. And those of you who are parents, I have a daughter who's in 4th grade. I'm over school and all of the school related things that have happened last year. Anyway, here's my question for you. What is your self-indulgence goal for 2022?
I love it.
What is your self-indulgence goal? What are you going to do for you? Because I think a personal growth plan is something they teach in Bold, and that's important, but I just say let's plus it. And I got this from Sajid Patel, so this is not a Mike Ray original, but I love that.
Tell them who that is.
Sajid Patel is one of our leaders of MAPS coaching. He and Monica Reynolds leads MAPS coaching for Keller Williams International. And Sajid also is responsible for giving leadership to all of the KW communities like luxury, commercial, new homes, land and farm, all of that kind of stuff. Anyway, Sajid asked the question, I think it's a great question. What is your self-indulgence goal for 2022? What are you going to do for you that would feel like you're indulging in something you haven't done in a while? Because I think that's an important thing to do this year too.
So
Awesome.
Mike,
Yes.
so I was at a girlfriend getaway, just me and a girlfriend who we hadn't connected a long time ago. We were talking about this and she said to me, so what is it that you do every day for yourself? And I said, every day? What about maybe once a quarter? She's like, no. What is it that you do every day? And she wouldn't let it go.
It's a
And I
great
said,
question. What do you
okay,
do every day?
all right, I'll tell you what I'll do every day. I'll go sit on my back porch and think. And so every time she talks to me now, she won't let it go. She's like, are you sitting on your back porch and thinking every day? And no, it's not every day, but I hear her in my head.
So
It's
maybe
always
you'll
in
hear
my
me
head.
say, what are you doing to indulge yourself in 2022? I think it's a
Yes.
great question.
Yeah.
I do. All right, can I answer any questions about the Southeast region? Anything y'all want to know? Ask me anything I don't know. I'll just tell you I don't know, but I'm happy to give it a shot. Yes.
I'm gonna start, so Mike, tell them what they would come to you for and what they probably would not come to you for.
Well, I do not handle contract disputes. You would be surprised how many buyers and sellers call me who are upset with some agent in our region. And I always listen very carefully, and then I zone out for a while because my next conversation with them is, and the broker of that office is
Michelle Myers.
But I don't handle those disputes. If you get ticked off with another KW agent, call your team leader, call your broker. I don't do those, but I am astounded how many people who call it feel like I need to know about it, like I can do something about it. I cannot.
And at least
I
once a
cannot.
quarter, they reach out to Gary Keller's office.
Yes. And then I get a phone call on a Saturday morning from Mr. Keller, which has happened. And Gary says, Mike, do you know so-and-so? Well, there's 15,000 of you. So chances are I may know some, but I don't know all. So that leads me onto this whole chasing down who those are so that Gary.
Then they call the
check his
operating
box.
partner.
Right. They will do that as well. You know, if you're interested in being an instructor with KW or a coach, or you're interested in another opportunity with KW, an investor or leadership, I always say talk to your team leader, but I'm also a next line of conversation about that. Happy to talk to people about any of those. I consider myself a poster child of KW. I started in the Peachtree City office as a brand new agent in 2012. So it's not been that long ago. I was a buyer's agent on a team. Reed interviewed me and my business partner on his radio show, didn't you?
That was a long time.
A long time. I was a buyer's agent. My first year in real estate, I sold 76 houses as a buyer's agent. And then the second year I sold 106 as a buyer's agent. And we were the very first MREA team south of I-20. And then I became a team leader of that office. And then I went to the Sandy Springs office and hung out with folks like Jim Alexander and learned a ton. And now here I am at the regional director. So I always tell people KW is really about opportunity. When you really massively crush your role where you are, opportunities will open up for you. And so I am that person who helps do that. If you have an idea for our region, if you have a question about something at Keller Williams that you're not sure about, your team leader, again, is my very first thing. Have you talked to your team leader? If not, I'll do my best and I always make sure that they know what's going on so we can support any questions you have. But we're there. Like I said, if you have a class idea, resource, you want to be a part of something, let us know. We'd love to know about it. Anything else I can answer for you all?
How about coming soon next year? What
Family
do you say?
reunion is in person.
Yay!
I know you're signing up for family reunion. All of the Southeast region events, anything large class size, we've done classes. How many of y'all got to do Christy Bout-Freisman's class, the ops boss? Anybody do that? I know some of your folks were part of that. We're gonna bring folks like Christy back to teach in person. We'll be doing career visioning in person. Cody Gibson is coming in to do some teaching next year for us. You'll see Cody. Sarah Reynolds will be in our region teaching next year as well, if you know Sarah. So we're gonna have some live teaching events. All of our leadership events will be live again next year. And KWRI is following suit. They will be back live, starting with family reunion in the city of Orlando, Florida. And I think it starts February 19th. Does that sound right, Jim? Somewhere around there. So details will be coming out before the end of the year about that. So that is a coming soon for sure.
And Mike, if I'm a brand new agent, like my lovely Irene, what is family reunion? Why should I go?
So I went to family reunion my very first year as an agent, and I've never missed ever since then. It is a great place for you to see the big picture of KW. I think a lot of times we think, well, this is KW, it's where I'm at in my market center. KW is a massive organization, and the worldwide part of it, the culture part of it, the vendors that come in, the classes, the instructors that you get to hear, the people you get to hear on the stage always challenge me, and they always grow my network and my business. And so every year I went, I would go recharge, refresh at an event like family reunion and come back with great things for business and for leadership. So I always say it's one not to miss for sure. So if you can make that trip, it's drivable to Orlando, which is great for us here in the Southeast. Some people will choose to drive, make it a vacation, go to Disney. Not that I work for Disney, but if you want to go to Disney, go to Disney. I think there's a great opportunity around that. How many of y'all have been to more than one or two family reunions? Yeah, it's a phenomenal event. Phenomenal event every year. And it's worldwide. People will come from all around the world. If COVID will let them. We're gonna test it. They will. Thank y'all. Y'all are great. Oh, that's
Well, Jim, I decided to go across the street to Snowmore Realty.
I'll do it.
Because that broker's gonna be coaching me. I'm going. If you can't get coached here.
Right.
You can't get coached here, guys. Guys, I mean, you're all a little bit spoiled because you have all this stuff and a lot of it's for free. And guys, and so if your business is not where you want to be, you have more opportunities here than all the other companies in these talking about. Sorry, and I've been to a couple of great companies that I love being in. And so guys, we have more opportunities here than in any other place. So anyway, guys, do we have anything else at all? All right, Ethan, what are you talking about today? I want to thank, yes, ma'am.
Hi.
Hey, oh, that's right, Jess.
I know, I was hiding over in the corner.
I know you are. Yeah, come on up.
For those of you that I don't know, my name is Catherine Evans. I'm with the LIFT program and I oversee the contract to close side of things. But we're more than just contract to close. We have contract writing, we have listing input, there's key, please show it. Really, if you have any questions, I try to pop in at least once or twice a week. Information's out there. You can always email info@rgclosings.com. Any questions?
Talked about leverage last week, guys. You think of next year, this is leverage for you right here.
Right here. I
And
should
and it pays for itself.
One thing I did want to point out is part of our post-close systems is we're getting reviews for you. Like if you send us your link, then we'll send it out to your clients at least 3 times throughout the process. We don't want to bombard them, but we also want them to get it. I know we all have emails that we pass along, and sometimes we just need a little reminder. So we're helping you grow your image as an agent, and that's one less thing for you to do on your list. So
Just want to throw that out there.
Well, thank you. We're glad to have you here also, guys. All right, if there's nothing else, you are dismissed. And thank all of you all for coming today, because I don't mind to be disappointed. Thank you, guys. Enjoy your day. Right,